here are the top 3 quad stretches that you need to be doing. So quad stretching is super important in this day and age. We're all sitting in chairs for like 8-10 hours a day. The quads and the hip flexors get shortened up, get really tight. So we need to stretch to fix that. I honestly don't think that lifting weights gives you everything you need. I think doing some dedicated quad stretching on top of weightlifting is the best way to go about it. So I'm gonna show you my top 3 variations here. All right, first up, we have the classic standing quad stretch. I think this is super underrated. People don't really talk about it anymore, but I think it's the best place to start for most people. So you're just gonna stand next to something that can support you. So I'm just picking a wall, and you're gonna grab your foot. So a lot of people grab the ankle. I don't think that's the best place to grab. I think if you grab the foot back here, you get a little bit of extra tibialis anterior stretch, which is also nice. And then it helps you feel the quad stretch even more. So you're gonna stand up nice and tall, breathe, and just try to relax and hold this for at least a minute. All right, now we have the second best quad stretch in my opinion, which is what everybody knows as the couch stretch. So this is actually where you wanna start off if you're a beginner. So you can notice how I have my toes on the wall right here instead of my shin. So people rush into pressing their shin all the way up against the wall, and then they can barely get their leg in front here. So I think a much easier place to start is to get your toes pressed against the wall. Your knee is a lot farther out from the wall, and then it's gonna be much easier to sit up in the stretch and not feel like you're just dying in it. So the progression here is you get good at this, and then maybe you move your knee a little bit closer to the wall with your toes still on the wall. You come up like that, you hold that, that's gonna be more intense, and then over time you work up to couch stretch like this with your shin against the wall. So one thing you wanna keep in mind here is you don't wanna be arching your back like this too much. You wanna keep that hip tucked and then only go as far back as you can with that hip tucked. So that's gonna keep the stress on the quads and not on the lower back. All right, so now we have the best quad stretch, and I'm gonna show you 2 ways to do it. So the first way of doing it is with a block. So you're gonna put the block under your hip, and then this leg is gonna come under. Might have to scooch over a little bit. Your thighs are gonna be next to each other. Again, tuck those hips, and then you're gonna lean back into a stretch. So it shouldn't be too intense here. Just make sure it's at like a comfortable 6, 7 out of 10 in terms of intensity. So that's one way to do it. And if you need more elevation, you can use more blocks. And then the other way of doing it is doing it with 2 legs. So you might wanna spread your knees out a little bit more for this one. Again, tuck the hips, and then you're gonna lean back. So you might have a little bit more control with this one. I don't know, play around with both of them and see what you like. But this is a really good stretch to do. I've also posted in the past about how you can lean against a couch so you can fully let your back just rest so you don't have to use your hands for support. That's another really good way to do it too. And then I've taken that stretch like all the way to the floor. I haven't been stretching honestly too much recently, but it is possible to get your back all the way to the floor in that stretch. So try all these out and let me know what you think.